My name is TREFLYN Jones, and today I want to talk to you about the Carbs and Calorie Counter book. Absolutely fantastic book. Now, if you've been with us on the Local Loafer group or on the Warrington Low Carbohydrate group for a while, you'll know about this. But for our new members, and for those of you maybe haven't yet invested in it, let me encourage you that it's an absolutely fantastic book and it's a must-have. So I've got my copy here and I've marked off a few pages. And you might say, well, why do I need that? Well, what we do is we do not count calories. That's a no-no. There's absolutely no point in counting calories. And I've got a video up here which you can watch on YouTube, and that explains it, why it's no point in counting calories. But there's a lot of reason for counting those carbohydrates, because it's the carbohydrates that got us fat. When we eat foods that are high in carbohydrates, that causes our blood glucose levels to rise, our blood sugar levels, and insulin comes along and takes out the excess and stores it on our body as fat. And because we carry on eating foods that are high in carbohydrates, that's how we put on weight. So local loafer means low carbohydrate, low fat. So this book here will help you to identify those items which are safe, if I can use the word safe. None of it's dangerous, but some is better than others. But I prefer to use the word safe. Safe for us to eat in moderate quantities, provided we don't go overboard. And we need to know, because otherwise people are saying, can I eat potatoes? Can I eat this? Can I eat that? The answer's in here. You don't have to keep asking. Anyway, let's take a look. So the one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn to page 146, and that's up on your screen now. And that is meals. The heading is meals, but it shows stir-fried chicken and noodles. And in 140 grams of this meal on a plate, which is not a big meal, there's 22 grams of carbohydrates in there. So what does that mean, 22 grams? Well, if you divide that by 4 grams of carbs is equal to 1 teaspoonful of sugar. So if you divide that by 4, that tells us there's 5.5 teaspoonfuls of sugar in that small chicken and noodle stir fry. And it'll be because it's the noodles that will have brought the carbohydrates in there. If you look at a bigger portion, 275 grams, that's more like what I would have. 43 grams, that's 10 spoonfuls of sugar. Okay? So this book helps you. Across the way, it says, shows you sausages in Yorkshire. Well, we all have sausages in Yorkshire pudding. And that's 220 grams of sausages and 146 grams of Yorkshire pudding. That's 82 grams of carbohydrates. That's 20.5 teaspoonfuls of sugar in that one meal. And eating that kind of food will really put the weight on you. And that's what we've been doing. So I'm going to move on now. I'm going to go to page 168, which is up on your screen. And these are onion rings. They look innocent enough, don't they? I just love onion rings. 52 grams in weight, and that's 13 grams of carbs. So 4 onion rings there, 4 battered onion rings, weighing 52 grams is 13 grams of carbs. That is 3 teaspoonfuls of sugar in there. You know, wow. And that's if it were that size. Even a small titchy portion of pickled onions, 35 grams, 2 grams of carbs, half a teaspoonful of sugar. And you wouldn't just eat 2 pickled onions. No, I wouldn't anyway. Moving along. Let's go over to potatoes, everybody's favorite. Well, let's have a look at pasta. Pasta is on page 218. Pasta and noodles. And that's up on the screen now. A 70-gram serving of noodles is 20 grams of carbohydrates. That is 5 teaspoonfuls of sugar in that innocent-looking plate. That's before you put anything else on it. If you look lower down, you can see that 285 grams is 80 grams of carbohydrates. That's scary. That's 20 teaspoonfuls of sugar there before you eat anything else on the plate. You know, going across the way to pasta, 70 grams, a titchy serving is 9 grams of carbs. Spaghetti down at the bottom, 210 grams, half a tin, 34 grams of carbs. Well, that's 8.5 teaspoonfuls of sugar in there. So We need this book to keep us safe. I will now go and have a look at the potatoes, and they're on page 224. Jacket potatoes, a 95 grams jacket potato, 20 grams of carbs. That's 5 teaspoonfuls of sugar. And you can see that bigger size down below. That's more the size I would have had, because I was a growing lad in those days. 348 grams in weight, 75 grams of carbs. That is nearly 20 teaspoonfuls of sugar. It's 19 teaspoonfuls of sugar. Mashed potato across the way, right down the bottom, 590 grams of mash. That's 92 grams of carbs. You know, that is scary. Oh, and that's what I used to eat. That's what got me fat. Moving on to page 228, potato salad. 60 grams there, potato salad with mayonnaise, 7 grams of carbs. That's nearly 2 teaspoonfuls of sugar. You know, jacket potatoes down the bottom, wedges, sorry. 270 grams of wedges, 83 grams of carbs, 20 teaspoonfuls of sugar. Let's go on to something else, which is very innocent, yogurt. We all like yogurt. 125 gram serving of yogurt is 10 grams of carbs. Now that's 2.5 teaspoonfuls of sugar in there. So if you were to put a meal out with these items on and put other things on it, your carbohydrate content would soon pile on. You know, we need this book. We really need it. It's very affordable. It's £15.99. It's also, as you can see down there, it's by Chris Crioletti and Yellow Poloria, and it's sponsored by Diabetes UK. This is a great book. You've got to get a copy of this book. If you haven't got it, you really need to get a copy. There's all sorts of meals in here. Meal ideas, drinks, your beverages. There's no need to say, can I have, am I allowed? You know, there's a lot of, even full meals, chicken curry here. They are all there for you. And this way you make informed decisions. And also, if you look at the meals that we post up on Local Offer, some of these fabulous meals that I'm just showing you on here now, these are low carbohydrate, low fat meals, and that's what Local Offer is about. And this video and lots of other videos are also up on the Warrington Low Carbohydrate group. So I hope you enjoyed this little video about this great book, the Carb Calorie Counter Book. And as I say, don't worry about calories. They're not even worth thinking about. Just concentrate on your carbohydrates and keep your fats down, keep your fats low, because eating fat will stall your weight loss. Okay? Hope you enjoyed this. Catch up soon. Stay safe. Bye now.